7 native survival hacks modern people ignore that World War II proved work. The first 10 seconds matter, so here it is, straight. When supply lines collapsed and cities burned during World War II, survival didn't belong to the strongest, the richest, or the most modern. It belonged to people who remembered old knowledge, quiet knowledge, native survival hacks that don't need batteries, apps, or permission. Today, most people scroll past these skills like they're outdated. History says that's a mistake. Let's get into 7 survival hacks modern people ignore, but war proved were absolute gold. Reading the land beats reading a map. During World War II, armies learned fast that maps lie. Bombs change terrain, roads vanish, forests shift. Native survival thinking teaches you to notice slope soil, colour plant density and water flow. Low ground collects cold air and fog. Certain plants cluster where water sits underground. Animals don't waste energy. Their paths often lead somewhere useful. These days, modern people trust GPS blindly. But, you know, when tech fails, panic follows. Land reading doesn't crash. It doesn't need signal. Back during the war, resistance fighters and scouts used terrain cues to move at night, avoid patrols, and find shelter without revealing themselves. If you can read the land, you don't need to know where you are. You know how to move safely where you are. Fire discipline is survival, not comfort. Fire isn't about warmth, it's about control. Native survival knowledge treats fire like a tool that can betray you if mishandled. During World War II, open flames got people killed. Smoke columns gave away positions and, well, light leaks exposed camps. The survivors learned to build low-oxygen fires, hide embers, and cook without flame when needed. Modern people think bigger fire equals better survival. In reality, a small concealed fire saves more lives. Natives mastered fire placement using natural windbreaks, reflective surfaces like rocks, and soil pits to reduce visibility. These techniques were quietly adopted by soldiers and resistance groups who needed heat without being seen. Fire discipline keeps you alive when being noticed is more dangerous than being cold. Slow movement keeps you alive longer. Speed feels smart. It isn't. Native survival wisdom values slow, deliberate movement because rushing burns calories, creates noise, and causes mistakes. During the World War II, forced marches wiped out soldiers faster than enemy fire. Those who survived, well, they understood pacing. Move slow. Stop often. Listen more than you walk. Resistance groups learned to travel in ways that left minimal tracks, stepping on rocks, roots, and hard ground. They avoided straight lines because, honestly, straight lines attract attention. Modern people power walk into exhaustion. Survival isn't about beating the clock. It's about lasting longer than the danger. Food isn't found, it's managed. Here's a hard truth. Starvation rarely kills quickly. Poor food decisions do. Native survival hacks focus on energy efficiency. Don't chase food that costs more calories than it gives. During World War II, soldiers trapped behind lines learned to trap small animals, gather reliable plants and stretch rations intelligently rather than gamble on big meals. Modern survival fantasies, they focus a lot on hunting. But reality, well, it favours consistency. Natives, they truly understood seasonal patterns and the importance of food preservation. Drying, fermenting and rationing. These were real survival multipliers. The war proved that folks who ate small, steady portions stayed sharper, moved quieter, and honestly made better decisions under stress. Shelter, it's about invisibility first. Modern thinking, sure, says shelter equals comfort. But native thinking, it says shelter equals survival. During World War II, a visible shelter was, well, pretty much a death sentence. Survivors built low-profile shelters that blended into the terrain, used natural materials, and avoided straight edges that catch the human eye. Native shelter design, really focuses on wind direction, ground insulation, and heat retention without smoke. Soldiers learned quickly that a hidden, miserable shelter beats a comfortable, visible one every single time. The goal isn't to feel at home, it's to stay alive, unnoticed. Silence is a weapon. Noise discipline saved lives in World War II. Native cultures understood silence long before modern warfare. Foot placement, breathing control, and tool management all reduce sound. Loose gear gets taped. Metal doesn't clink. Conversations drop to whispers or hand signals. In quiet environments, noise travels far. During the war, patrols detected enemies through sound long before sight. Native silence techniques allowed movement through enemy territory with shocking effectiveness. Silence buys you time. Time buys you survival. Community beats lone wolves every time. This one hurts modern pride. The lone survivor myth is exactly that, a myth. Native survival is communal. Shared watch, shared food, shared knowledge. During World War II, isolated individuals died fast. Small, coordinated groups survived longer, adapted faster, and, well, recovered from mistakes. Natives understood role distribution. One person watches, one gathers, one rests. War forced modern fighters to relearn this ancient truth. Humans survive together. Even two people double survival odds. Modern independence culture ignores this lesson. History doesn't. Why this still matters today? These aren't romantic ideas. They're proven under the worst conditions humans have ever faced. World War II stripped away comfort and exposed what actually works. Native survival hacks don't rely on technology, strength, or luck. They rely on awareness, restraint, and respect for reality. Modern people ignore these skills because they feel old. War proved old doesn't mean useless. It means tested. If this changed how you think about survival, history, or human instinct, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to 0 Hour World War II for more stories where history teaches hard lessons modern life forgot. Share this with someone who thinks survival is about gear. And remember, when everything breaks, knowledge is what keeps you standing.